Okay, so let's take a look and see how this turned out. So it's snowing, and this is where I started my last video. So we've got this hill that goes into the creek. We've got the bone pit here with the new Foxo I found the other day after my last stream. Super cool. Um, I love this creek. It's so good, even though I've kind of made it a pain to cross. So in theory, you do cross there and then get up onto this log and half bridge to proceed. Um, the, the lilies are the not lilies. The daffodils are up. Only makes the snow that much worse. Um, so we've got the creek. It's running really well, but it's not flooding like it was in the last video. You can actually pass this bridge, not have issues. Although here I do break uh, part of it right there. Well, I'm gonna have to get a new stick. That's no big deal. Um, yeah, so just progress. This is flowing really nice. We're on the right side of the bank again. I think I went a little bit further in, like in this area last time, but there's just so many different ways to go. I'm not too concerned about getting this stuff out of here yet. So this is all clear. Can get rid of more of this red bush that I need to identify, but there's enough to do elsewhere where that's not a current issue. So we'll get there. These are the bits that were overflowed. I absolutely want to make these better tributaries still. So this has been tidied up a little bit more. That area now doesn't have as much red bush. So these are doing good, staying cleared. A lot of the sticks on the ground got moved around so that they're in better spots. Happy to be working on that. My little A-frame ladder is doing good. Structure's still doing good, holding up for several years now. Really kind of proud of that. And speaking of head bob, it actually does show a lot more when you put something on your body, and you get this where your torso is moving but your head isn't because you've got stabilizers. But it does come up that head bob is kind of real. So I've cleaned up this space a lot more. You can clearly move through here. You don't have to go around. Picked out a lot of the little branches and small trees in here. Move them off to the side. Probably going to do something creative with them later, but maybe not. Cleaned up a lot of this area. Again, just going through and taking care of a lot of these smaller tree branches. It takes a lot of time and effort. Cleaned up this, even though you still have to duck to get under it. I want to kind of leave that maybe. Still debating. Less work got done here, but there's still a lot that got done. Like I should clean up this space a little bit more, but I wanted to focus by the waterfall areas. So this area coming up, I worked on a lot, but I don't really stick on it a lot. So over here, yeah, all of this got cleared through a lot more. Worked on down there a bit. Absolutely got it up in here and worked through here. I worked behind me, but I didn't show that, I don't think. But yeah, all of this is walkable now. There are nice paths that are starting. I've got this area all the way up to a ditch that marks the property line. There's just so much dead stuff that needs to get moved around. It's a lot. So trying to just progress, keep these things to be a little bit nicer. trying to really just make this more of a path and less of a journey. So this space turned out really nice right here. That one can go. Um, so these are more of that spiny tree. I found this clearing area, which is fantastic. Did a bit of work in there, cleared out a little bit of that, but it's mostly clear. It's just moving stuff around. So here I get to a spot that I hadn't worked yet. So this was kind of like where I finished the other day's work and was kind of a stopping point. So I wanted to rig this up a little bit to clear this area right here. And I hope the angle turned out okay, because I hooked it up to a tree rather than trying to like hold it or anything. So yeah, that space is exactly where I want it to be, but getting it, nope, angle's bad. So we're gonna quickly watch me take out this stump and then move it out of the way. Yep, yep. So none of this is going to show anything, which is fine. So from here, I pick it up and we proceed. So as you can see, you can kind of just straightly walk through here now, but that's no big deal. I should probably just cut that, but that's okay. So I'm kind of just progressing, caring a little bit more about different stuff that I can move around now, because I'm not trying to just kind of rush through. I'm making this walk matter. I'm doing stuff. I'm not just like idle. I can kind of work my way through. So when I stop or have like little delays like that, I'm running into different spots I have to traverse. It's a lot. So there's just a lot of effort that kind of needs to go around. You need to path find and just kind of work your way through right now, because I, again, have not worked this area that much. So I'm moving around some sticks here, kind of just getting stuff like this down, like things that are just dead that need to come down. I'm just like actively taking care of them with this. So nice to find more trail, trying to progress further. There's plenty to do in these areas, but not there yet. That's okay. You can see the clasp from my hood, which is kind of funny, because I'm trying to keep it chest centered, so you get a better idea of like what I'm looking at, but not sure that really works. So here's that situation I ran into last video of I exited there in the last one because the creek was flooding, but here it's not flooding as much. So I take my time and decide it's worth going through. The camera I use has a nice little case that keeps it safer. So it's less of a worry that I'm going to drop it, more of a worry that I'm going to drop my phone or my glucose monitor. So that's super relevant. But yeah, you can just kind of cross. And then there's this space that needs to get worked to make this more of a proper path. But once you get out, it's kind of clear. You can kind of go most of the ways you want to. Again, given there are little bits of tree and things that need to come down, like these, which I take care of. Yeah, so there's a lot of dead stuff that just kind of needs to go away. It's fairly easy to move this stuff around. Like, they weigh a couple pounds, if that. And most of the time, because it's so long, dragging it is easy. This is more of just manipulating your body than it is like a physical resistance workout. Some of it is like pulling that tree out, absolutely a resistance workout. You get a lot of your body engaged in that. But here, I'm just kind of trying to untangle some things, get trees that have had pressures put on them to be released. There's a kind of a path that I chose that I'm not familiar with. Like, I haven't gone through to here until I reached this point in which I am familiar again. We've got our lovers tree that are wrapped around each other. I love them. They're so good. But yeah, we're back in real path. This space still needs to get worked though, even though it is on the more worked path. There is still plenty to do in these areas to make them nicer, but it's so hard to work some of this and keep the aesthetic of this very like woodsy kind of have to work through area. So that's a big thing on like making sure that I have enough cool spaces, but we can still get to them. So that's my goal right now is really, oh, so more on that is moving sticks that are out of the way that needs to go into other places so they're easier to collect. Because it's kind of a pain to just grab one stick and carry that all the way back. So at this point, I am doing that, but I'm moving it to a collection of sticks because I kind of still care about like presentation, even though it the way I'm holding this made it more ground based, which is not great. Um, I really do have to find like the exact right angle I want to be at. So this is unfortunate. So it is still wet. It is still snowing, but I made it out. Got a video in. Happy with that. Made progress. Moved some stuff around even during the video. So it's good to be out and working. So I find a collection of sticks which I deposit. Oh, said stick. And I'm just kind of working my way back here. It's still super wet, which is a problem that I'm still trying to figure out how to make some of these creek beds better for traversal and less for just existing. Is still rough. So there's a lot that still needs to get worked, like I said, on this side, but the plants are starting to come up. We're starting to get some wildflowers in here. There's a lot of little stuff that's great, but as things grow, this all becomes a lot harder to do. So there is that. I really am glad and proud of the way this is turning out. I'm glad I'm doing a video series on it and letting everyone on the internet enjoy my experience because it does fill me with a lot of actual joy to be doing this kind of work. And there's just nothing that can top that. It's so hard to get fulfillment right now in the world the way it is. And I'm blessed enough that I get to have something that does that. I'm really proud of being able to work in a space like this and have the funds and everything to keep living while I can do this during the pandemic when it's not really safe for me to be working. looking, but you never know. So yeah, it's more of these spaces. I'm really sad I didn't adjust the camera. It got on this lower angle, but I never really seem to pick it up, which is a shame. But you do get kind of a feel for a lot of the spaces that I have worked, because a lot of this didn't change in this area. So yeah, I'm happy with this video. I'm gonna see more about like doing a head cam or something. That might work out better. We'll see. Yeah. So that's my video. It's coming in around 20 minutes. It's solid. Happy with that. So yeah, I'm really proud of the work I'm doing. I'm just it's still a lot of work, and that's one day's difference in the amount of change I can make. So I'm trying to work out how to do this best, because there are days like today where I'm going to get out there and work and absolutely get into the space out there and really make a difference. There are other days where it's going to be um, I feel like I want to do the walk after a really good day, but I'm not sure if it can always be like today where I can show off yesterday's video, then go work the space, and then come back and really do another video. Still got to figure that one out. Still working on it. Yeah, so I'm gonna play with it a little bit more and see how to make that happen better. Yeah. Thank you all for watching. Like I said, I am gonna get back out and do more today, so I'll see about doing another video at the end of the day, or if I want to just make that a thing that gets me outside when I'm not feeling like doing a thing. Yeah, so that's where I'm going to end it today. Make sure to take care of yourself, take your meds, drink water, and have an amazing day. Fill your day with positivity and be the good that you want to see in this world. Till next time, everyone. Peace. And I don't know if I have a raid target. Let's see who's on. Because I might just not have anyone to raid. And that's okay. Yeah, there's like no one all that interesting on, but I think I'll just raid. No, I think I'll just end it then. All right. Thank you, everyone. Have a good one.